What's up, everybody? There are 3 keys to designing the perfect system. And it doesn't matter if this is the HomeKit system or a Control4 system or an Alexa system. These same 3 keys are going to make or break whether or not you love your system. So we're going to cover that right now. So at the end of this video, we're going to have a really cool offer. Make sure you stay till the end and see that. But just to make sure that we're on the same page, we've surveyed hundreds and hundreds of clients. And when we ask them, what are the things that make or break whether or not you love your system? This is what everybody says. There's actually 3 things that everybody wants. Number 1, you want to use your system. Sounds really obvious, but a lot of times it's not about whether or not the system works. It's complicated. You don't love the app, the user experience, or you have devices in your home that you would never use. You didn't understand, so you bought them, but now that you know, you wouldn't use them if you had it to do it over again. Number 2 is whether or not the system works. There's something really important to make sure that happens we'll talk about. And then the third one is pretty simple. It's your budget. You want to make sure that it doesn't just completely obliterate your budget, right? We've talked about this 5 to 10% of the home's budget goes to the technology package in the home. That's a pretty big chunk of the budget, so we want to make sure that we get it right. So these are the 3 things that we've learned over the years to help make sure that we consistently turn out systems that clients love. First one's really important. We want to make sure that the system's designed with a user focus instead of a system focus. And again, it sounds pretty obvious, but there's 2 reasons this doesn't happen. Number 1, the manufacturers really don't want it designed with a user focus. It's not the dealer's fault. The dealers have great intentions. They want you to have a system that you love, and they want to have a relationship with you for years to come. So they need you to have a system that you're happy with. The problem is that the manufacturers want you to buy all the manufacturer's stuff. So if you buy a Control4 system, they'd prefer that you buy everything Control4. And we even see this to a certain degree with solutions like Alexa or HomeKit, where we're playing so much in that sandbox that we start to lose the user focus and it becomes more system focused. And so we want to make sure that the system's designed first and foremost with you in mind. And again, that sounds simple, but one of the number 1 reasons that clients don't use their system is they start working with a dealer and they're like, oh, well, maybe I need video distribution and maybe I need audio distribution and I think I'd like voice control. But beyond that, they haven't spent any time thinking about how they're actually going to use your home. Here's what I mean. When you're in your family room, what do you want? Do you want to watch the TV? Do you want to listen to music? If you're going to listen to music, what do you really want to listen to? Is it music, or are you more of a podcast person or an audiobook person? Like, what are you actually going to use and listen to inside of that room? And so we want to go through the room and the home, room by room, and make sure that we're designing it first with a user focus. It's kind of like building a home, right? Once the sheetrock's up, once everything's finished, all the trim work's done, all the final pieces are in place, we can lay in the paint, the floorings, and kind of give it that life, that personality. System's much more so that way than we think. We want to design it with a user emphasis, and then choosing Control4 or Savant is kind of like bringing the paint in. People out there are going to hate me for that, but it's actually the truth, okay? It's how we personalize the system and tailor it to you and kind of bring it to life. But how you plan on actually using the system is what separates it and makes it right for you so that you'll actually enjoy using it. Second piece of the puzzle is we want the system to work. Nothing's worse than having a party, you're watching the big game, you're watching, maybe an award show, you've got friends over, it's your little girl's birthday party, and the system stops working. Kids are out in the backyard, they're swimming, it's a soccer party, and the system comes to its knees, right? We want to avoid that. And to a certain degree, technology is always going to need service and maintenance, no different than buying a really high-end car. If you've ever used an iPhone or an Android, or if you've ever used a Wi-Fi router or a laptop, odds are you've had to power cycle something. So we know that occasionally technology is going to need a little bit of a kick in the butt, right? But on the whole, if we design it right, systems should work more often than not, right? And one of the things that happens is when we get to programming, oftentimes these systems don't play nice in the same sandbox. There are 2 different ways that systems can be programmed. The first is what we call certified programming or certified integration, and the second is custom programming or custom integration. There's so much marketing, so much emphasis out there about the Internet of Things and this idea that smart devices live on the cloud and that because they're in the cloud, they automatically talk to each other, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. Imagine you and I went to Starbucks. You spoke one language and I spoke another language, but just because we're at Starbucks, we were expected to communicate to each other. It wouldn't work, right? We would need a translator to help the 2 of us talk to each other, even though we're in the same location. And that's exactly how it works with smart devices. You have what's called an API. You don't need to remember that, but just know that it's the translator. It's the code that's written that helps device A speak to device B, even though they both live in the cloud, right? So when we're integrating devices in the home, and this doesn't matter if this is Alexa or HomeKit or Control4, this stays true, okay? When we're integrating products, we have two solutions. Number one, we use certified programming or certified integration. And this is where the engineers from both companies come together and say, hey, look, we're going to work together so that when there are software updates or updates to the app, whatever the case may be, that these devices continue to talk to each other. They're certified, that they talk to each other, and both teams are going to support that and make sure that it works. Now, the second type of integration is custom integration. That's where a really smart dealer spends his or her weekend custom writing code, and they do some amazing stuff, and they get two devices that don't talk to each other to talk to each other, usually using some kind of a hack or even a third-party product as a workaround. Now, it's really cool, but what happens is at some point in the process, there are updates to the software. Now, that custom integration is broken. And in order to fix it, you're going to have to call your dealer, have the dealer come out and rewrite new custom codes. So we have a saying, custom in, custom out, or once custom, always custom, meaning that once you start down that path of custom integration, it is always custom forever with those products or devices. Every service ticket, every warranty ticket, every update will require more custom programming, which also means when you're having that birthday party or you're watching that Super Bowl party, if there was something reliant on custom programming and it goes down, the odds of getting it back online before the party is over are slim to none. So we want to use certified integration, super important, okay? And then the third piece is we want to maximize the budget. Now, whatever your budget's going to be, we want to hit that budget. I'm not talking about discount sales. This isn't a discount barn, but we want to hit that budget, okay? And what we find happens is we're working with clients, we're helping them design their systems, they're allocating their budget to things they will never use. So an example that we talk about a lot is a client in Miami. And he came to us and he said, hey, I'm building my dream home and I have a budget and I'm really frustrated because I want panelized lighting and I can't fit it into my budget. And as we talked more and more, we discovered that he was planning to do video distribution. And we talked to him about it. So why are you doing video distribution? Then he went through it and we're like, well, do you plan on distributing content throughout the home? No, I've cut the cord. I'm going to just use Hulu and Netflix. Like, that's all I watch. Do you watch any live television, live sports? No. Like I said, I cut the cord. And so as we went through the process, we realized that he really had no need whatsoever for video distribution. What he wanted and what he was already going to have is the ability to control this TV and control the sources that were connected to those TVs. Run the volume, change the input, change the channel, press pause, play, that kind of stuff, right? And he gets that even if he doesn't have video distribution. So once we understood this, we were able to take and remove video distribution from the setup altogether because it wasn't anything he was ever going to use. And now suddenly he was able, within his existing budget, without spending more money than he planned, to fit his panelized lighting system into the budget. So again, it wasn't about discount shopping or buying products that didn't work. It was about allocating the system correctly, going through the process and seeing what he actually wants, making sure he understood what he was actually getting, and then removing the pieces he would never use. And this goes back really to all three pieces, right? Number one, you're going to use your system because we don't have products in there that you don't know what they do, don't know why you have them. You're going to be way happier about the way the system is designed and how you use it. If it's done with certified programming, it's going to work 9 times out of 10. And when it doesn't, it's the kind of thing that can very easily be addressed from a phone call or an email ticket without waiting for the company to roll the truck. And then third, it's going to sit inside of your budget instead of just blowing up your budget, right? And nothing's going to make you more angry than if you blow up your budget and you don't use it and it doesn't work, right? So that's huge. We want to make sure we allocate the system based on things that you're actually going to use to hit your budget. So a few years ago, a client came to us and asked us if we would design his home, and it kind of became a thing. We started designing systems for clients, not just in the country, but all over the world. And a lot of the projects that you've seen us talk about on here, our Boca Raton project, our Virginia Beach project, some of the projects we've showcased on Instagram, are all projects where we help design the system for clients. Now, the cool thing is we've reached a point now where almost exclusively this is all we do is design and consult for clients all over the world. We're getting out of the install and servicing game. We help design systems. We help put you in touch with a dealer in your local market. So what we're doing right now, if you click on the link in this video, it's going to take you to a page where you can check out our design service. And how it works, there's a couple of pieces to it, okay? First, we do a design layout, which is basically just a PDF copy of your floor plans where we put icons in. And this is where we really focus on step number one, making sure the system's designed with you in mind, right? We're going through that process. We're making sure that we've thought about how you're going to use the system. We're not looking at hardware or anything else. Where do you want audio? Where do you want touchscreens? Where do you want security? Where do we need network? Where is it critical to have hardwired network for things like, your work, your business, webinars, whatever the case may be? It's very user focused. Then the second step, we design a system around that plan, right? And we give you three. We give you a Control 4 system, a Savant system, and a DIY system. Now, full disclosure, the DIY system's gonna help you see how like Alexa or HomeKit or Sonos, whatever the DIY package is gonna compare in price. It's not gonna share the exact same feature sets, but at least gives you some comparison numbers for budget. Okay? And all of these systems are designed with certified integration, so you can be certain there isn't a reliance on custom programming, the system's gonna work. And then you can take this as you're working with your local dealer, your builder, and you're gonna have a huge step ahead on making sure that the system fits your budgets, one that you'll actually use, and one that works for years to come. Then what happened is, as we started doing this design service, a ton of clients started asking us for kind of an extra piece, right? So we created TimeU. It's an online membership. It has a ton of videos, has over 200 videos, 6 video series. We go over how to design a home theater, how to design a smart home, how to design a Control 4 system, how to wire your home, how to terminate wire for the DIYers out there. There's a new one that we're just launching right now. That's what does my quote actually mean? So when your dealer gives you your quote and it's like this thick and you're trying to figure out what every line item means, we go through that, help make sure that you understand what you're actually getting. So it's exclusive to members of TimeU. What we're doing right now is we've packaged the two together. So when you sign up for the design service today, we give you 1 full year of access to TimeU. So full disclosure on the design service. So when you click over to the link, we don't waste anybody's time. Okay, if it's not for you, don't even waste your time going there. Okay. Most of the time we're working with a client on the design service is somebody who really cares about getting the technology in their home right. It doesn't have to be a big system. A lot of our design clients have been Alexa-based systems where they thought maybe they were going to do Control 4, and when it was all said and done, they ended up doing Sonos and Alexa. So it doesn't have to be Control 4 or Savant, but you're planning on putting a sizable portion of your budget, 5 to 10% of your home's budget, into the technology package. And we want to help you make sure that it's designed right. Now, a lot of times in the space, when you go to a dealer and you're getting ready to buy from a dealer, they'll have some kind of an engineering or a design fee. It can be $3,000, $5,000 for that fee, and it's sort of like a down payment. You're making some initial commitment to that dealer, and then they do a ton of engineering work to help you design the system. Likewise, we'll have clients come to us and say, hey, we want to do a very sophisticated lighting system. We need you working with our engineers, our architect, our interior designers, and we'll take upwards of $10,000 to start with a design service. So we had two choices. We were like, well, we could price it there, but then it's not gonna help anybody. And what we really want from this is to help you have a system that you're gonna like, and for the dealers you're doing business with, we want you and them to have a positive relationship for years and years and years to come. So we could have priced this thing really, really high, and what we decided instead is we put it at $997. But what we're doing that's different right now is when you sign up for the design service, we include 1 full year of TimeU. So you have access to all those videos, the live trainings, the online community where you can ask questions to us, other homeowners, and our design team as you go throughout this process. So what you do next, you click on the link, you can go and you can fill out that form. We'll start designing on your system. It takes about 10 to 14 days to turn your design around. After you check out, there's gonna be a link that you can send your plans to. We just need a PDF copy. You'll get a response from a designer letting you know they've received your plans. We'll get to work on it right away, and you'll also get instant access to TimeU to start watching any of those videos, sending questions that you might have, as well as any of the other digital resources, ebooks, quick guides that we put together. You'll have access to all of that. So if that's for you, click on that link and hop on over. And if you're still watching this and you're one of our subscribers or our followers, sincerely, I want to say thank you. It's been a huge blessing and a heck of a ride for us. You've kept us going. I mean that sincerely. I mentioned that we're kind of shifting now to this is our full-time gig. We're going to double down on the videos and the resources here on YouTube, as well as any kind of design and consulting digital products that we can offer to help you on your way. So as always, we'd appreciate it if you'd like, subscribe, and share this with your friends. And we'll see you on the next one.